The Gospel for Monday, November 30th, the Feast of St. Andrew. As Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and his brother Andrew, casting a net into the sea. They were fishermen. He said to them, "Come after me, and I will make you fishers of men." At once they left their nets and followed him. He walked along from there and saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father, Zebedee, mending their nets. He called them, and immediately they left their boat and their father and followed him. This call of St. Peter, St. Andrew, James and John, this is a call away from all of the things that they were familiar with. This is a call away from the things that were comfortable for them. This is a call away from the things that they were good at. A call to follow Jesus. And they responded immediately. At once they left their nets, and immediately they left their boat and their father. It seems that in the face of Jesus, in the face of his invitation to us, it becomes clear what attachments we have that are too much, what attachments we have that are disordered. Of course, they were attached to these things that were part of their profession, these things that they were good at, these parts of their livelihood, but clearly they weren't overly attached. They weren't overly attached to comfort or overly attached to success, even. It becomes clear, too, that Jesus isn't just calling us and calling Simon, Peter, and Andrew. He isn't calling them for work or productivity. If that were the case, he would say, do what you're already doing, but do it for me. Instead, he tells them to leave what they're good at, leave what they're successful at. And instead, he calls them to communion. He calls them to follow him and to be with him. There's a scene in The Chosen, the TV series, it's popular now, of the life of Christ and the ministry of Christ. And in this scene, Andrew is talking to Peter, saying, as they've just left their nets, and they're going to go and follow Jesus, Andrew is nervous because he doesn't want to get it wrong. Is following Jesus. He doesn't want to get it wrong. It seems to me that that's often our concern. That's often what keeps us from attempting to pray more, attempting to follow Jesus more closely in our lives, or even just attempting to live Advent this year. We can be concerned with getting it right. And Jesus isn't calling Andrew, and he's not calling us to get things right. Instead, he's calling us to a communion. And this is clear in the end of this episode. Andrew and the rest of the apostles are still sitting in the same uncertainty. What is life with Jesus going to look like? But yet they're filled with this peace and they're filled with this freedom, knowing that being with Jesus is all that matters. Knowing that being with Jesus is the point of his call. And the Catechism tells us that this kind of communion that we're called to is one that is intimate and unceasing. And so, as we pray now, entering Advent, as we pray that the Lord draws us closer to himself and that he himself comes closer to us, let us ask the Lord, what are the attachments in our lives that are holding us back from giving a more full yes to the Lord? What are the things that are holding us back from spending more time in prayer, from giving ourselves more fully to the invitation, living life with Christ?